Think about Rome. Swords, legions, magnificent temples. But the thing that really built the empire wasn't its soldiers or its gods. Rome used money as a weapon for the first time in history, and that weapon made the entire world bow for centuries. But like every weapon, one day it would strike its owner, too. Today, I'm going to tell you not just how Rome rose, but how it fell. And maybe by the end, you'll think, Rome never really fell, it just changed its disguise. Rome's story didn't start with war, it started with trade. By the 3rd century BCE, Rome had become a trade powerhouse at the heart of the Mediterranean. Goods were flowing through every road: olive oil, wine, gold, silver, spices, slaves. And there was only one way to control this flow: control the money. For the first time in history, Rome saw money not just as a medium of exchange, but as a tool of empire. Every conquered land used Roman coins. In a way, it was saying, from now on, you'll live by our rules. They were so clever. Every gold coin didn't just carry value, it carried a message. Never forget who holds the power. And people didn't forget, because Roman money meant trust. Just like today, when people see a dollar, they feel something. Brought down by barbarians. Rome was brought down by the loss of trust. Money isn't just metal, it's a society's belief in its own future. And the Roman people no longer believed in their money, in their state. Being a Roman citizen was once a privilege, but with inflation, it became a burden. People fled the state, merchants stopped trading, soldiers preferred to get gold from other kingdoms. The empire decayed from within, not by the sword, but by money. Today, thousands of years after Rome, we're playing the same game. We print money, we go into debt, we sell trust under the name of economic growth. But remember, Rome was growing too, until it believed in the illusion of growth. Back then, there was the denarius. Today, there's the dollar. Back then, there were emperors. Today, there are central banks. But the result is always the same. At some point, the system can no longer bear its own weight. And when that day comes, people will ask the same question again. What was real wealth? Rome's economic genius carved it into history. But that same cleverness, that same ambition, eventually consumed it. Sometimes collapse doesn't come with war. Sometimes collapse begins with a small decision nobody notices. Print a little more money, wait a little longer, trust a little more. And history always tells us the same thing. When trust in money is gone, empires fall. Rome is gone, but its mistake still lives in our pockets today. But wealth is a poison. It works slowly, but eventually it affects everyone. As Rome grew richer, the people became lazy. The rulers wanted more palaces, more wars, more display. And to pay for all of it, they turned to one place: the mint. Printing money has always been the oldest form of magic. Paper or metal didn't matter, the important thing was that people believed in the symbol. And the Roman people did. Until the silver content in their coins started to drop. Once 95% pure silver, the denarius slowly fell to just 5%. The rest, copper. But the emperor's face was still on it, right? That's why nobody noticed. As Rome tried to save its economy, it was actually melting its own foundations. Because once money loses its value, regaining it is nearly impossible. Wealth is an illusion. Rome knew this better than anyone, but in the end, it fell for its own illusion. Wars were no longer profitable, they were a burden. Taxes rose, people started to revolt. And the Roman Senate acted like today's central banks. Let's print a little more money, get the economy moving. Sound familiar? The result was predictable. Prices skyrocketed, people's purchasing power collapsed, salaries became worthless. And just like today, people stopped trusting money and started trusting goods. Back then, they stockpiled bread. Today, we stockpile dollars, or Bitcoin. Doesn't matter, because when belief changes, everything collapses.